I would check the search term reports. So what I like to do, and one question here is it limited to a specific campaign or is it all of the advertising, like all the campaigns? What you can do is essentially compare them. So what we do is we isolate the date ranges in which, when was it performing and when was it not performing? You can typically kind of pinpoint a specific time frame. And what you would do is I would open up two different tabs and I would set the date ranges to, time before and then exact time frame after. And then what I want to do is say, what's the difference, right? So I'm looking at spend, I'm looking at sales, and I'm saying, okay, where was I spending? Where were most of my sales driving when stuff was working? And then where was my spend being driven and where were most of my stuff when what's happening when it's not working? And sometimes what you find is like maybe spend went down, maybe you over optimized bids. I don't know. You're just looking for clues, right? So you're like, oh, this is the campaign that used to be performing and this is the one that's not performing. And this is where the majority of my spend is. Okay, now I need to dig into the campaign, right? So then you click into that campaign, you do the exact same, or I would click into depends. If you have more than one product, then you might want to click into the product. If you have more than one ad group, then you would want to do this again at the campaign level, looking at all your different ad groups. Again, you're looking at when it was performing, when it wasn't performing, where was most of my spend going, where was most of my sales coming from. Okay, that's the place that I need to dig further. Then you would dig into the ad group. Obviously, if there's one group, you simply go into the ad group. And then what you're doing is you're looking at each individual keyword, right? Which keyword was driving the most sales? Which keyword was driving when it was working? Okay, what is that? How is that keyword performing now that I'm noticing it's not working? And oftentimes you're like, it's this one specific keyword in the account that was driving all of the sales and now it's not. Then your question is, okay, what is happening at a search term level? So I know what campaign I need to focus on to figure out what's going on. I know what ad group, I know what keyword. Now I need to know what is the search term. So again, you do use the search term tab, exact same thing. Before and after, what was working, what was all the sales being driven through, what wasn't working. I have used this method to find one negative keyword that I needed to add that had instantly corrected all of my ACOS issues. I have used this to discover a negative keyword that was added that ended up blocking a search term that was really important to us. We have used this to figure out that we were having issues with the buy box and it was a product going out of stock. Like this process of looking at your trends, figuring out what is the point of change, looking at dates before and after, and then evaluating your ad sets and really looking at what was working before and then taking a look at what is going on right now. That whole process is amazing, and you'll discover once you get very familiar with it, you can do it very quickly, and you can really quickly discover some major issues in the account, and then more importantly, like kind of how to correct for them. So